What LinkedIn has done is made it much more professional. You're practicing at home because you would be doing it in this environment that really mimics how your video interview would happen in real life. I'm Renata Bernarde, a virtual career coach and job hunting expert and creator of the Job Hunting Made Simple online course. Every week I record a live career coaching session where I help you with your career progression. I'm also the host of the Job Hunting podcast, where I interview experts to discuss recruitment, job hunting, and jobs of the future. So make sure you subscribe, follow, and welcome aboard. Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? I am Renata Bernarde. I'm a career coach. I have an online channel on YouTube where once we record this live session, it goes on there, and from there it goes on my blog, on my website. I have several services, online courses, and coaching programs that I offer. So if you are interested in investing in your career and getting ready for job hunting, career advancement, making plans for your future, get in touch with me. Follow me on Facebook, follow me here on Instagram, and I have a lot of free content to kickstart your career plans. And from then we can develop a relationship. You can follow me forever and ever, or you can, at some point in time decide to get in touch with me, give me a call, and we can start doing a few things together. I've been so lucky this week. I want to give a shout out to my new clients. Thank you. I hope you're watching either live or later on. Thanks for trusting me with your career plans and advancement. Can't wait to start working with you. We've just signed up, so I'm really lucky to have you as part of my, group, my community. I also want to thank all of the amazing people that have enjoyed their LinkedIn audits and that have sent me feedback. Some of them I have yet to read. I'm doing a lot of LinkedIn audits. In fact, I pulled a all-nighter on Monday, and that, I'm 48. I can't do that anymore. But I don't want to say no to anyone yet for LinkedIn audits. If you listen to the promotional video that I have on my website, under that service web page, I say that, I can only do so many every week, but I'm trying to do as many as I can. And because it's a new service and I want to do as many as I can, of course. But there will be times when the service is sold out and I can't offer them because, it's a lot of work. But I can't pull all-nighters anymore. I've realized the next day I just couldn't function, and I have a few collaborations going on. I have a speaking engagement that I need to prepare for, a webinar that I'm doing for a recruitment company. What else? I have a couple of things like the two TV interviews. So I'm going back to Ticker, and I had to postpone that just because, clients and things like the LinkedIn audits take precedence over, whatever fun stuff I get to do as part of my job. So those things are now sort of pulled to July, until July, the Ticker, and I'm going back to the Informer as well. So I've been very busy. And Stella as well, she's listening there. Hi, E, editing all of our work, and we had our work audited by an amazing person that Estelle and I follow religiously. She's a coach and somebody who gives a lot of great tips and advice for people that have podcasts and social media marketing campaigns like we do. And she just sent us the report and she was praising Estella's work. So good job, eh? So that's great. So we're very happy this week. We're very busy. We have, amazing new followers following us, lots of new people on Facebook. So yeah, it's been good to have you on board. Thank you so much. All the new followers, the people inside the Facebook group, and so on. Moving on. Today, we are going to talk about LinkedIn's new interview prep tool, which is really interesting. I had a look, I found out about it. I had another topic for today, I have to be frank, but then I found out about it on Monday and I'm like, okay, this takes precedence because I want you guys to be the first ones to use it, to have my review of it and let you know what I think and how you should use it. So I'll talk about that tool. I think it's a really important tool for you to be taking a look. And then, as always, after the public coaching session that I do, which is filmed live and then is recorded and kept on YouTube and on my blog, I go inside my private group and not goop. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow, am I? I go inside my Facebook group and that's private, and I do a little bit more coaching inside that group, and that doesn't go anywhere. It stays in there. It's recorded just for the group members. So if you want to have a little bit more of coaching, you have to join the group. You can join anytime. If you join now, we will quickly accept you and you can hop in there and watch not only this coaching bit that I'm going to do today, but the previous ones as well are kept just for the group members. And inside that group, I'm going to be talking about some headline trends that I've been seeing on LinkedIn. You know how you have your name and then you have a headline underneath? There are too many people trying to help job hunters out there because there are lots of job hunters and there are some terrible advice. So I want to sort of filter out all of the things. In fact, yesterday I was feeling very depressed about all of the advice and worried about job hunters listening or reading all of the advice and not knowing what to do or doing things that are not going to serve them well. So we're going to go through some of those trendy things, some of the hashtaggy things that people are advising you to use. You can see by how I'm doing this with my head what I think about them. But if you want to know more and some of the terrible advice that I read online that I want to bring to your attention, hop inside the group. Okay? All right. So, let's start with the topic of the day, which is the, here it is, I made notes, which is the LinkedIn new tool. So when you are job hunting, you go to LinkedIn, the feed, the /feed, and from there you click on jobs at the top of your feed, and inside jobs, there has always been the resume template. Now, I've tested the resume template many times, not recently, I have to say. I feel like I have to go back and test the resume template again. I've never liked it. And some of the great career coaches, my colleagues that I follow on LinkedIn, are very silent about the LinkedIn template. Always. I never hear them talking about the resume template, and they talk about resume all the time like I do, so I'm pretty sure that we all are in agreement that probably not a good idea to follow templates. I worry about templates because I'm very aware that my community is very multinational. They are all over the world. The Job Hunting Podcast, which I host, so if you're not familiar yet, find it on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, or on my website. It is listened over 50 different countries. And LinkedIn, as wonderful as it is, still follows pretty much a universal, but a more of an Americanized version of a resume. It doesn't service Australia, and we're an English-speaking country, right? Australians are much more, thank goodness, laissez-faire and laid back with their resume. They like a few more pages on people's resumes. My kids, for example, have always had a 2-page resume. And they're now 26 and 23, but they've had jobs since they were 14 and a half. And they've always had a 2-page resume. So there you go. So that idea of only having a one-page resume is a very American thing, and it needs to be followed because that's the norm over there, but not here. For me, because I have a much sort of more extensive senior career, I have a 4-page resume. Even if you are mid-career, but if you're a project manager, if you've done a lot of contract work with lots of projects, you would have a longer 3-page resume. So that tool, I worry about that, but I will review it again for you, and in a few weeks time we'll talk about that one. But now what I like about this new tool is that you may remember, and Estella, if you can eventually at some stage, maybe not now because you're listening, but later, if you could add the link to the podcast with Brooke Young to the commentary here on Instagram and on Facebook. So what we have spoken about before is the importance of job hunters in 2020 to be very comfortable on screen, very comfortable with what I'm doing now, which is awkward, right? Which is speaking to camera. I'm not even seeing myself. I'm looking straight to a Canon, camera. And the thing is, this is going to be more and more common. It was more and more common even before COVID. Now we believe that the situation that we're in now is going to speed up the process of moving, interviewing into this tech world. So it's not even that interviews are going to be via Zoom or Skype or Microsoft Teams or WebEx or any of that, is that you're going to be looking at camera, receiving questions through a software or an app, and having a minute or two to answer those questions, receiving another question and answering, receiving another question and answering, right? So Brooke and I discussed this in this podcast from last year, and I suggested that you should do what I'm doing, which is just practicing at home. What LinkedIn has done is made it much more professional, you're practicing at home, because you would be doing it in this environment that really mimics how your video interview would happen in real life. Not only that, and this is really interesting, there is an AI tool thingy built in that will listen to you and give you immediate feedback. And it is really awesome. I've seen it played out. I've played with it, and it really is interesting. It picks up things like ums and likes and how fast you speak or how slow you speak. So it's that kind of feedback. They say that there are also people there that can review your LinkedIn for you. I haven't seen people review mine yet, so I'm assuming that this is such a new tool that eventually there will be some people that will be listening to what I said and giving me feedback, but I haven't seen it yet. But just that in itself is really, I think it's really important, because sometimes I say a lot of ums. I remember when I first started the podcast, I try to remove all of the ums, go back to number 1 and 2, and I just couldn't, edit out all of the ums. It's really hard. I know Estella is probably trying to do, hi, Susie. My cousin has joined. I know that Estella also tried to remove some of my ums, and you need to have a better way of communicating, especially at interviews, and you can practice for the common questions. So let's talk about the questions that they have there. They have a very good library of questions. So the first big library that serves everybody are the common questions, and I think that everybody can go through them. And when I say everybody, I really do mean, I would recommend my senior coaching clients to do them, as well as my rising star followers and, you guys, anybody, recent graduates. You have to feel comfortable doing this. And it is true that video interviews are being used, especially for, large consulting companies, banking and finance, even for senior roles, to filter out those sort of first stages of the recruitment process. So be mindful of that, and don't think because you're in this sector or because you're very senior that this is not for you. It is for you. And you don't want to be in that situation where you find the perfect job and you really want that role, and the first interview that you have to do is direct to camera. Imagine that. You want to be very comfortable doing it. And look, then you have two other categories. I wonder if LinkedIn will eventually create more categories of questions. Maybe they will. The other two are finance questions and sales questions. And even if you're not in kind of sort of sales roles, just scroll through and see if there are any questions there that could benefit the type of roles that you do, maybe it's in marketing or just like leadership, general management type roles, admin roles. There may be some questions there that would suit you. Some of those I have found are very junior questions, and that's fine, right? So if you're more senior, just skip them. Questions about, you have a very low GPA, why should we hire you? If you have 15 years of experience, people wouldn't be asking that question anymore. So just skip those, of course, but practice. So you go through them, and then you can record, and then the recording is there, and then it's analyzed by this AI thing. It's awesome. So I really think that you should give it a go, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Now, what does this mean? It means this, and this is not so good, or it's not that it's not so good. It just means that you will still need to find ways to stand out, because once we all get good at doing video interviews, especially as we all use LinkedIn. So I'm assuming, or if I shouldn't assume anything, you should read my blog from this week. Right? So my blog this week was about the power of LinkedIn, how LinkedIn has become the business hub of the world, considering most business hubs are still in lockdown mode, operating at a skeleton format. People are not going into work, they're not having coffees, they're not networking, conferences are all online, and it's a very different sort of network kind of environment. LinkedIn has become the hub. Like everybody's there. You bump into people all the time, quite literally, like, oh, I haven't seen this person in ages. Let me see what they have commented here, or why did they like this post? And then you send them a message and say, oh, I haven't heard from you. And that's really what LinkedIn is now doing. It's replacing all of the other networking opportunities that you've had. So now we are all there. We're all looking at jobs there. We're all practicing for interviews there. We're all receiving the same kind of advice and feedback from the interview prepping. It's becoming quite vanilla and standardized. Do you see what I mean? We're all kind of going into that same direction. What is it that is going to make you distinctive? What is it that it's going to, you still need to work on your personal brand, on your unique value to the employer, the thing that makes you so interesting and employable, and that makes you pop out of screen, pop out of standing out from the crowd, from all of the people that are practicing on the same platform, navigating the same platform, following the same advice, and listening to the same feedback. So you will need to, I will say, you will need to take some risks to go above and beyond the feedback that's given by that interview prepping tool, and those risks need to be very well considered. Now, that's where coaching comes in, to allow you the opportunity to find the best possible advice and support for you to stand out and develop your personal narrative, your branding, your social leadership, your communication skills, to sell that pitch that only you have that will eventually translate and convert into a job opportunity. But you can also work on it on your own, and that's why I'm here. That's why I have this Facebook page and the live sessions and the Instagram account, and that's all to give you those reflection opportunities, those tips and advice that you can then listen, stop for lunch. It's 12:30, almost 12:30 here in Melbourne, and start thinking, okay, I get what Renata is saying. Let me go and practice. I need to be at that level. Being good at video interviewing will be the standard. You have to be good at that now that LinkedIn has provided this amazing platform for everyone to practice. By the way, it was launched on Monday. Already over 2 million people have been on that platform practicing. Okay, so once we've all reached that new baseline, then what is it that will make you stand out? What is your distinctiveness? Okay, I guess that's where I will love you and leave you. I hope that you have enjoyed learning about the new LinkedIn tool and that you go there this afternoon, or if you're somewhere else in the world. Susie is probably going to bed now, but when she wakes up, she should check it out as well. And tell me what you think. Leave me comments below on this video, and I will answer them later. If you have any questions about this LinkedIn tool, any other LinkedIn tool, anything to do with LinkedIn or career, just leave me a comment below. I will read it, of course, and get back to you. Okay? So, ciao for now if you're on my Facebook page and on Instagram, and I will see you inside the private group in about 5 minutes. Bye. I hope this session helped you with your job hunting and career plans. Don't forget to follow me, and most importantly, subscribe to the Reset Your Career community so that I can send you my weekly newsletter for job hunters and career enthusiasts, as well as my free tools and extra love. Bye for now, and see you next time.